We finally got the October release date confirmed with characters like Ultra Instinct Goku and Full Power Jiren, but that's not it. There was a lot of hidden features shown outside of the trailer. Here's the breakdown. First up, we got official confirmation of split screen in Sparking Zero. Well, sort of. The PlayStation Store page, which for some reason went back and forth between 1 player and 2 players, has finally been changed back to 2-player local with remote play support. The Steam page has added a split screen tag and remote play support too, so you can even play Sparking Zero online with friends who don't have the game. The game description even states you can sit down and play with friends offline. But here's the weird part. It says exclusively in the hyperbolic time chamber. There's been some controversy that we might only be able to play on this one stage, but it looks like Bandai used this as a trade-off for the Xbox Series S rumour. It was rumoured before that the Series S wasn't powerful enough to support split screen, and that it would be removed for all platforms as the standard of the game has to be relatively equal across. Personally, I don't see it as a big problem because I'd rather them allow split screen for one less graphically intensive map rather than not have it at all. They may even add split screen to more maps after the game launches. DLC and mystery character. So we've got confirmation of 3 DLC packs with 20 or more characters. The season pass will unlock all of those characters. The 20 characters from the 3 packs have been confirmed to be exclusively covered by Superhero and Daima, where it's likely there's 7 to 8 characters per pack, with characters such as Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, Cell Max and the Daima forms. There's also a final mystery character with more details from the Italian Xbox store page, stating that the exclusive character has never been seen before in the Tenkaichi series. So that pretty much narrows it down to either a Dragon Ball Super character that isn't in the base roster or a new Daima character. I personally think it could be a new Daima character that isn't in the DLC, as Sparking Zero is releasing on the 11th of October, which is a Friday. With strong rumours that Daima is going to air in October, it will air on a Sunday in Japan, just like how it was for Dragon Ball Super. Either the anime comes out right before the game and we see a mystery character from the anime, just like Goku Black and Xenoverse 2, or we see the mystery character a few days before the anime comes out. For reference, these are the pre-order characters that came with older games. For Xenoverse 1, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Xenoverse 2, Goku Black, Fighters, Android 21, and Kakarot had Bonyu. They might just add a completely unknown character that we never would have predicted. What ifs have been confirmed, where you can pick between different choices and get crazy new scenarios. For example, you can choose to fight Raditz alone, and this might give you a new timeline, such as Krillin following you to fight and defeat Raditz. Goku doesn't die, so he doesn't learn Kaioken, and then Vegeta easily kills Krillin in his giant ape form as Goku's underpowered, making him transform to Super Saiyan very early. There's a lot of new possible what if scenarios, like Vegeta doing the Super Saiyan God ritual instead, Trunks and Vegeta doing father-son Final Flash, or even something funny like Mr. Satan being in the Tournament of Power. They might have even hinted at a final what if scenario from the collector's edition figurine showing Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus Broly. There's been some more story mode details from the description too, stating that we can relive the story mode through the perspectives of 8 characters. I'm predicting it'll mostly be Z fighters like Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Piccolo, etc. But there may even be some fun ones like Frieza or Broly. They can also model it after Budokai 3, where you could also roam around and complete the story mode from different character perspectives. Next up, we've got the official cover art, which does look amazing, but it has a few details to pick up on. Firstly, they decided to show characters like Trunks and Jiren instead of a major one like Beast Gohan, which pretty much confirms that he's not in the base roster, otherwise he would have been on the cover. Secondly, everyone is in their strongest form, apart from Frieza, who's not in his golden form. And finally, Trunks, Rage and Blue Evolved Vegeta have been confirmed in the roster without trailers, as they're on the cover art. New modes. On the official site, they state you can create, play and share by recreating and setting up dream battles and sharing those creations. At first glance, I thought this was going to be some Super Mario Maker mode where you can make your own levels and add different characters. It really depends on how much access we have. But it could be something like where we can set up a series of battles as a what if and make it a story. For example, something like Goku vs Beerus. Goku loses and you fuse with Vegeta to become Vegito, and then you get to challenge Whis. Or they could take inspiration off the Tenkaichi 3 story mode, where you set up battles but you're only allowed to transform and swap into different characters once you reach a certain checkmark of the fight. You could also potentially change the stats of enemies or swapped characters to make it harder or easier. This feature could lead to endless possibilities with the modding community in the future. The Japanese site also says there's online features with up to 8 players, which could be a new tournament mode like the Tournament of Power, or something like in Raging Blast 2 where you could have a tournament with 8 players and 8 CPUs. Shenron unlocks and Goku costume. It looks like we've got the return of the Tenkaichi 2 unlock system, where everyone isn't unlocked at the start like Tenkaichi 3 and you have to grind story mode to gradually unlock the characters. If you pre-order, you can skip some of this and unlock some characters early. Shenron is also returning, where I expect you can unlock things like costumes, money and stages. You get to summon Shenron immediately if you buy a special edition of the game, but even if you don't, you should still be able to collect all the Dragon Balls. In Tenkaichi 3, you could play on the Ruined City stage, fly and destroy houses and you'll find Dragon Balls hidden. Then you can eventually summon after grinding this. You can summon Super Shenron immediately if you buy the Ultimate Edition. Super Shenron does the same things as regular Shenron, but he also grants you an exclusive playable character too. And there's also a new Goku costume with his power pole, which isn't just a cosmetic. The Italian PlayStation Store states that the Power Pole costume is a special costume applicable only to Goku, which replaces one of his regular moves with the dance of the Power Pole. This could be similar to a Xenoverse 2 mechanic, where different skins can give you different moves. For example, regular Goku could have Kamehameha, Kaioken and Spirit Bomb as an ultimate, but if you equip the Power Pole costume, then one of these moves would then be replaced with the Power Pole dance. I could easily see them releasing costumes with different moves for more characters. Character supers and ultimates may end up being customizable. It looks like from the trailers, when characters perform ultimates or supers, black borders appear on the corners of the screen, which is shown here where Super Saiyan Z Goku is performing 2 separate ultimates. This might come from the Raging Blast system, which allowed you to have 4 different super move slots and the ability to change them around. Another case is shown here, with Trunks Fighter Super Saiyan performing Final Flash, which we know from the story he couldn't perform at the time until Dragon Ball Super. It could be another customized Ultimate or Super. Customization items have also been confirmed, which could be similar to Tenkaichi 3, allowing you to increase stats like melee damage, ki recharge, speed, health points, etc. The pre-order bonuses are the 6 early character unlocks and the mystery character, but if you're worried that you can't pre-order and you won't get the characters later, then don't worry. They stated that the bonus can be purchased later, similar to how in Xenoverse 2, Goku Black was the bonus, but he was available to buy for everyone later. Ninja Storm 4 did this with Boruto and Sarada in the pre-order, but then included them in the DLC. They could end up doing the exact same thing for Daima Goku 2. The Japanese Twitter account confirmed you can buy iconic music packs which allow you to change the in-game background music during battles. So when I was watching the trailer live, I saw all of these massive character reveals, like Teen Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Super Perfect Cell, 100% Frieza, etc. But there was no hexagon screen at the end. I just assumed they've been added. But when I checked the Japanese site, a lot of them weren't added, and only 8 characters were officially added to the roster. I think they were just using them as side characters, as they fit the trailer narrative and cinematics, and they'll definitely be shown again in full for future trailers. The trio of danger was briefly shown, which opened up new questions. Here we can see that Basil is in his dangerous drugged up form, which could mean that Basil will end up getting 2 forms in the roster alongside Lavender. Or another possibility is that the 3 of them only appear for Bergamo's ultimate attack. We'll just have to wait for future trailers. Different additions. I just wanted to add as a quick message that there are some major differences you might not have noticed before pre-ordering. For some reason, the premium and collector's editions will not give you 3 days of early access to the game, even though they're the most expensive. For value for money, I would advise buying the Ultimate Edition as it gives you early access, DLC Season Pass 1 and the new Goku costume. You might also be able to get it for 20% off. If you have 1000 Bandai Club points, then you can get the discount. But even if you don't have an account, you might have lots of unclaimed points ready for you. You get points for doing simple things like registering for the site and newsletter, inviting people, but you get a lot more points if you link your Steam account and you have Bandai games in your library. If you had 2 Bandai games, you pretty much get 1000 points and you get the discount straight away. The Japanese website has posted the specs of the game, which once again confirms local multiplayer with 2 players in versus mode. But unfortunately, it looks like crossplay will not be available at launch as it states that it's incompatible. However, the same thing happened to Dragon Ball The Breakers, but after around 6 months after launch, crossplay was added, so Sparking Zero may get crossplay down the line. There's also other features like 60 FPS locked on consoles, but PC should be able to play above that. The Bandai store site has also put up PC requirements, but there's been controversy of people saying it might just be placeholders, as it looks like the GPU and RAM requirements are too low. However, some details do appear to look valid, such as the i7 7700K CPU, which is good for gaming, and it states a minimum of 30 GB available space, which matches the Japanese website storage specs, so the devs may have ended up optimizing the game incredibly well. And then finally, we've got the 3 different series. GT and OG Dragon Ball are now more likely to be in the base roster, as we have confirmation that Superhero and Daima are DLC, so there will be a lot of additional slots left over in the roster. None of these series will also be in Season 1 of the DLC, unless they decided to add them in Season 2. Here's how it compares to Xenoverse 2 DLC. Xenoverse 2 started off with the Super Pass at launch, which is pretty much the same as the Sparking Zero Season 1 Pass. Then 2 months later, the first DLC pack is released with Cabba and Frost. Another 2 months later, Pack 2 is out. Pack 3 is out 2 months after that, and the final Super Pack is out 2 months after that. If we expect a similar timeline to Sparking Zero, DLC packs 1 to 3 with Superhero and Daima should all be released by June 2025. After the Super Packs, the time between the Xenoverse 2 extra DLC pack drastically increases. There was almost a 6-month gap between Super and Extra releasing in December, then another 2 months for Pack 2, and then another massive 6-month gap for the Kefla Pack 3 to release. This pretty much repeats and gets longer for further DLC additions, but my point is, I really don't think that they'll end up waiting this long just to add GT characters to the game, especially with the fan popularity. At a minimum, it would be expected for GT to be added as DLC after Season 1 is over, which could be next year summer. Based on those reasons, I think that at least the key GT characters, like the 3 Super Saiyan 4 forms, and some villains like Omega Shenron and Super Baby Vegeta will be added to the base, and then the other relevant characters like the Shadow Dragons and Super 17 will have their own DLC pack in the future. There was also an old leak with a Dragon Ball voice actor called Sonny Strait. He voiced Krillin, General Blue and Bardock, who just got added to the roster in this trailer. With 2 of those characters confirmed now, there's a chance he's already voiced General Blue for Sparking Zero. and we could get a few OG Dragon Ball characters in the base roster too. There may be a future OG and GT trailer closer to launch showing them off. I'm now expecting movie characters like Cooler to be added in future DLC packs and not the base, as I expect GT and OG Dragon Ball to be prioritized if they're included in the base. Let me know which edition you're gonna pre-order if you've already pre-ordered. I'll probably get the Ultimate Edition.